All right, let's go. Let's get it. Oh, welcome to Long Shot. It is Tuesday, so we're playing Terraform. I'm Sir Feffers. It is great to have you here. Quick recap, and then we'll go into our characters a little bit, as well as ourselves as humans. The party has committed to saving the giants who are being enslaved by the natives. They met a giant named Skiop, who has agreed to help them with magical tattoos if they can get the assistance needed. After saving him from the Oni who were hunting him, they traversed into native territory in the east and are now meeting up with the giant leader, the remaining hill giants and such. She is a fire giant who will not give her name. And she has a small council of 5 or so stone giants, one being Skiop. The rest remaining are big dumb brutes known as hill giants. They're a bit generic and they eat stuff. What to say? They met up with Crichton, who has been slaughtering his way through the natives, which we'll get into a bit, I think. Speaking of, George, why don't you tell us about you and your 2 characters?
Okay. As always, hello, I'm GoodGriefGeorge. You can follow me everywhere as GoodGriefGeorge. Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, the Clamper, you know.
We've got
all,
the links.
All the important
We've got the links
apps.
in the chat.
All the links are there. Anyway, I'm playing 2 characters as of right now. We'll see how far that gets. Well, the first one for this campaign is Fizbin Ramsey. He is a cleric of the Stormfather, a Tempest cleric, does a lot of electricity and a lot of... he's just an old dragonborn with a chip on his shoulder. Or at least like 7, because like his glass armor is just chipped all over the place. And then we also have Crichton songwriter, the Barbarian. He's just recently been discovered. He's just an old... Not old, like an old favorite from last season, and he's here now, and he's got some information. He's gone through, like, I think the last time you guys knew about him, he was going to meet Sylvas the Archdruid, who had Sam, who apparently is now not in Sylvas's possession. So today we get to learn a lot of exposition, a lot of like stuff about things. Crichton has some of that info, so that will be a good time.
Thank you, Chris.
So those are the 2 characters. We'll pop it over to Dorky.
Hey guys, I am That Dorky Cosplayer, and you can find me on all the things. I play Brady, the half-elf bard, and there are so many thoughts in her head that I don't think we could get to all of them. But she's happy and anxious and scared always scared. There's always a bit of fear in her heart.
Haley hits me up at least once or twice a week to be like, is this the episode where Brady dies? And I was like, I don't know, is it? Is this the one?
Is this the time? Do I need to prepare my heart? Because I will cry. I was talking to a friend and I started saying like, well, if Brady dies, like, here's my thoughts. And I had to stop and I was like, oh shoot. I might actually cry. Like, I joke about this, but...
I mean, you've been playing Brady for almost a year now, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe
and it's my first character, my baby, so I want to protect her, but also, gosh dang, she is so weak.
Oh, no.
There's only so much I can do for her. But yeah, I'm excited. Haley's excited for tonight, and scared. We're both scared. It's fine. It's fine. And with that, let's go to Taylor.
Hi everyone, I am Taylor and Tracy. You can find me absolutely everywhere as Taylor and Tracy, and with the link in the chat, probably the easiest way. I play Terraform. She is a satyr druid. I don't know where she's gonna go in this game yet, mainly for this big battle. There's 3 ways that she can kind of play. She can either be super melee brawler in the heart of the fight, ripping out throats. She could be long distance, sending lightning all over and making trees do all the attacking for her. Or she can be clinging onto someone and making sure that person doesn't die. And so I think this game is going to be a lot of trying to figure out where exactly she's going to fit in this upcoming war that we're having. And with that, I will pass it off to Critfail Jake.
Hey everyone, I'm Critfail Jake. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. I do cosplay content there. I am playing Thranduin, the half-elf drow fighter, hopefully paladin soon, maybe warlock. He is about to do some very risky things tonight, as far as his connection with his patron. So doesn't know how that's gonna go, because it depends on really how powerful if he's as powerful as he says he is, and all of that. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll pass it on to Pillowsuit. Gone yet?
He is not.
Dude,
Take it away.
I'm Mr. Pillowsuit. I do stuff on the internet when I'm not doing stuff on the internet. You can find me on TikTok, and I play Otto Kane, a rogue tiefling who also has this big gargantuan of a friend named Dinky, who does a lot of stuff, and he's really cool. You guys should check him out. He's like, he's like this big old guy that does like
to him, aren't you?
crazy things, and it's like he
There
looks
it
like
is.
that. It's really good. But anyways, this battle coming up is something that we've kind of known might happen, not to this extent, and not at this juncture, but I will say it's somewhat of a a bittersweet moment seeing Crichton again, but at the same time, like, knowing it's like we might not see him again, depending on how the battle at hand goes. So let's prepare for that. And with that, I will give that back to Sir Feffers.
All right, I'm excited because I rarely get to do large-scale battles. So I've got a couple ideas on how to go about this, but I'm also kind of testing the waters a little bit because it's been a very long time, and I'd like to think I'm a bit of a better DM now than the last time I tried to do this, which was like 3 years ago. So, all right. The party. Crichton is currently speaking to the fire giant. The party is kind of coming together and has to decide on a lot of different things. The one big thing they know right now is that the current forces of the remaining unenslaved giants is woefully ill-equipped to fight the force that the party knows is coming. Between Crichton and Thranduin and the use of their burps, their crowels named Otto, they know that they have very little time. But enough time that they might be able to scramble for some forces. So the party huddles up. What do? You are surrounded by hundreds of hill giants, all kind of digging trenches or in the ground. You're on the second story of this large stone dome where where the fire giant has committed to holding their last stand.
Have we talked to the giants yet about asking the Iwanti to help in the battle?
Not yet.
Not yet? Oh, okay.
So far, the fire giant knows that y'all have committed yourselves to the fight.
Okay.
She's a bit of a zealot. She is a bit of a rage first, kill things, which is why she leans heavily on her council of stone giants, who aren't really fighters. They're much more tinkerers, creators, artisans, but they got the big brain.
Did you say, if I remember correctly last time, Crichton was talking with the fire giant, and did you say where the stone, where Skiop and his queen are?
The stone giants, Skiop included, tend to just stay encircled and sitting around wherever the fire giantess is.
Okay.
She will kind of pace a little bit, so that doesn't really matter, but if she goes anywhere, they follow and eventually sit down in a circle around her.
I think last game we decided that Thranduin was gonna tell them about this Ewantes, because you know the most
Yeah.
about him. Do we want to try and pull the stone giant aside, Skiop aside, and ask him first?
That might be a good idea.
We had also mentioned maybe that Brady would go and get reinforcements from the town, but now that we know the teleportation circle might not work the way we thought, do we still want to? Is that still something that we also want to throw in, or just the Yuan-Ti?
I would recommend if you go,
Yuan-Ti.
that the party would go together. Also, if you want to get Yuan-Ti forces, you're gonna want to speak to Hillel, the snake prince,
Right.
who is a member of the council in Dragon's End. You don't have a teleportation circle to the volcano where the queen
Yeah.
of the snakes are.
So I think regardless, we're using the teleportation circle. That's because we have to go to Dragon's End no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Thranduin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
You're the one that has to kind of make some tough calls. Because on one hand, you have the loyalty of the snake folk. On the other hand, they worship Gent.
Right.
And Gent did him some killing of giants back in the day. So it's a bit of a...
Gent did lots of things that are not good. Just to refresh me, is Gent the only issue, or like do they get along? Do they have any other
The E1T are relatively new.
problems with each other? Okay.
They don't really know anything about the giants. They have been collecting in the dwarven ruins all of the blue metal and feeding it to Gent inside his like gravitational prison.
So there wouldn't be any reason to be like, hey, what about the UNT? And they'd be like, oh, we hate those guys.
Yeah, the
idea of more
they'd be
allies
like,
would probably be well received.
how do you pronounce it?
Yeah, okay.
Wantai? I don't... Oh, and not to forget that you have a flump. And right now, it is apprehensive. Kind of looking around. There's a lot of tension in the air. Smell of blood and the like.
Wait, I found it. I was using it to film, so I threw it on my bed.
I'm all about more allies.
Mm-hmm.
I have the power of the Stormfather with me, and I can throw lightning bolts all day, but we've seen what we're up against. And if these giants can't even handle them, that would be... More fighting force would be necessary, I think.
I agree. We absolutely need to bring as many people as we can.
Otto.
Dragon End and E1T included.
Otto, what's your thoughts?
I was gonna say I got two questions, and that's actually on our portable rune prison.
Yep, okay.
Is there a designated amount of space that I can create the rune prison in? Like, if I make the circle bigger, does the prison get bigger?
It does not work unless you set it up precisely. So it's roughly 6 foot around.
So how big is
like
it
the
inside?
Oni had to the inside. It's like you can't. It's kind of a long bridge with nothing on the other end, peninsula, and then you can't see off into the distance. You can't see the bottom. You can vaguely see like a speck of light miles high.
But as far as the bridge goes, does there have an end, or
large
is it...
and it is stone? No, it kind of the floor opens up. You got some stairs, and then you've got this long floating bridge.
I think I see what you're trying to ask. How many people can fit inside of this prison?
Just ask that.
How many people
Humans
can
or
we
giants?
lay in? Huh?
Humans, like medium-sized creatures.
Humans.
You could probably fit uncomfortably at max, including using the cages. And if you threw the desk off the side and you know, all that, you could probably fit about 50, maybe 60.
Oh, that's not as big as I thought it was gonna be then. Like when you said like there's this long bridge and you can't see the end of it, I thought this was like an infinite.
You can
bridge.
see the end of the bridge. You can't see off the side of the bridge. You can't see the bottom of this open expanse that the bridge is in.
It's an expanse, but no like places for people to stand on, basically.
Yeah. Humans, not giants. 50 to 60.
Still, even 40 warriors at our disposal would be better than none.
It's true. And I'm trying to think though. How can we possibly also use this prison as a trap? Maybe like, if they start corralling in, not knowing where they're going, and then just close it behind them. Just like, hey,
that would be tricky. That would be tricky for sure.
Leave them to the unkillable.
I mean, not necessarily if
prison
we
man.
make.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I hadn't thought of it. Go for it.
If we set up maybe a alternate route where they think that they're getting inside, and then they go into the room, could at least like get quite a few of them to go in there, and then just trap them in there. I just wish that once I got the runes, I could just like shake them like a little bundle.
Yeah, I mean, also it's an endless expanse over the side. So you know, if you're trying to keep people alive, then like 50 to 60. But that's an endless drop over the side. You can just keep pushing people over the side of that. I like that. That's good thinking.
If we can, oh, you know what? I think I might have a plan with this thing.
Oh my goodness. That's
Alright.
that you crazy, bro. The real question is, if you drop an arrow, a bolt in there that you can teleport to and then leave, can you teleport back even when the stones are closed? That's the real question that I know the answer to, but you don't.
I mean, that would take some
Experimentation.
Some experimentation.
So, action. Where are we going? What are we doing? Who are we talking to?
I think we should definitely talk to Skiop and tell him that we're gonna try and go gather reinforcements and help.
Okay. You can see him a little ways off.
And how much time do we approximately have until?
You're not 100% sure.
Okay. And what time of day is it?
Tonight,
It is midday.
Later.
And I will make my way towards that one guy.
Skiop. Okay.
That one.
You approach him, and he kind of looks over.
And I forgot, is there a language barrier with this, or?
Just speaking common to us before.
Yeah,
Good
I think
enough
he's
for me.
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We may know of some reinforcements.
Really? That could make all of the difference.
This might be totally I might be misremembering this, but didn't we, when we fought the basilisks, try to extract the eyes?
I want to say yes.
We got one. We got
Yeah,
one.
you
eye.
Got one, and
got
who
one.
had it?
I have it, and it's being put on my shield.
Back in Dragon's End.
Dragon's End, yeah.
Well, maybe
So-
it's fixed by now.
So if we use the teleportation circle to go back.
Okay. So trying to figure out.
Brady has like gotten her second bowl now of whatever the soup or whatever it was that Crichton had made, and she's just kind of like following everybody around as she's just eating happily, like, oh, this is so good. I love good food.
Spackle soup. The best.
Spackle soup. I'm eating
Don't tell
horse.
Brady that.
The party, Thranduin specifically, or Thranduin especially, can hear Crichton, I want to say arguing, but kind of earnestly speaking with the fire giant in Giant about the gods of the giants and the existence of other things like that in the northern continent.
But Thranduin just hears giant.
Yeah.
Is like,
Borosh, the back in the portal.
Yeah. So he's just gonna
Wow, they're really
tell
having an intense conversation.
Skippy.
Okay.
Eventually, I'll remember his name. I'm so sorry.
You're
But he's
good.
gonna
You're good.
No, it's Skippy now.
Skiop.
I just think of him as Scat Man.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I'm the scat man.
Ba-da-bop.
Is the rest of the party with me?
Yes.
Or okay. And where is the lava tube?
The lava tube is on the first floor in the center.
I got another question about my rune prison.
Okay, just a second. Let's let
Okay.
Branduin finish his thing.
I don't know if you're aware of the tubes on the floor. The UNT, these allies I speak of, tend to live in there. So it could be a way
Underdwellers.
to easily get them here without the enemies knowing. We can keep our numbers a secret.
That would be incredibly useful. Are they like the dwarves of old?
They're not like them, but they are living in their ancient places.
This is a good plan.
He's gonna look up and get the fire giant's attention. To Crichton's kind of dismay because he was mid-sentence and very interested in the conversation, and she's gonna come over.
Yeah, what is it? They believe they can bring us allies from underground. Like the dwarves, much like dwarves, but not quite.
She's gonna turn over to the party.
Any assistance that you can bring would be greatly appreciated.
We can also go back to our camp, Dragon's End, and seek their help as well.
Her eyes kind of shift over to you, kind of the fire looking off the sides, kind of looking at you, kind of not noting you for the first time, but now that you've spoke up in an important conversation specifically, she kind of up downs you, she kind of like memorizes your face a bit.
Well, with Godspeed. We'll
return
be
as soon as we
here.
can.
All right. Anything else you guys want to discuss with anyone else before you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
As we start to get ready, gathering whatever items we need or whatnot, Brady is going to gently tap Thranduin, kind of as discreetly as possible, and just kind of be like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?"
Yeah, sure.
And so she'll lead him over to wherever she thinks is kind of the best place, no out of earshots to really be heard or anything. So she looks very serious. This is clearly something she's not wanting.
So you guys kind of step out of the hold, the dome, and kind of go to the westernmost part of that kind of clearing. So it's kind of like a small grassy area between the dome and the cliff walls of the spine.
I know this is going to sound like a very weird request, but could you possibly hold on to a few things for me? They're very important, and if something were to happen to me, I'd like you to be able to have these. And she's gonna already be digging in her bag, and she's pulling out her journal, which her nose is practically in all the time. She's always writing in it, always doing something with it, as well as her harmonica off of her hip.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and she's going to hold them out to him.
He's gonna take them. Brady, nothing's gonna happen. I won't let it.
We aren't guaranteed anything, and my everything I can remember, my life, my memories, everything, it's with these. The harmonica someone very important gave it to me, and I don't want that in the wrong hands. It's just a harmonica, but I trust you with these things.
For your peace of mind, I'll keep you safe. But I swear that I'll give them back to you at the end of this, when we're all fine.
She's gonna kind of offer him like a little like smile, but it's clear that she really isn't too hopeful. She's hopeful that everyone else will be okay for sure, though.
Flump is gonna like float over
Okay.
and just kind of nuzzle up against her cheek and try to cheer her up.
We'll be okay. It'll work out.
We're in this together.
Brittany's gonna give him a hug right before she just walks off because she actually is about to cry. So she's like gone with that done.
Okay. She returns. She has herself a bit of a cry, and then returns to her chalking out of the teleportation circle. Eventually, you kind of yell at a hill giant who happens to step on it and messes it up. It's a very bustling area and stuff like that, and he kind of runs off. But you do finish up the teleportation circle. When you're ready, you can cast the spell, and you will succeed in creating the teleportation circle.
I'm gonna assume we have to all be on the...
No, you will open up a portal that everyone
Oh,
will be able to
okay.
step through.
All right, I was like, man, how am I gonna have them stepping around this like fine little work? Like nobody step on it, but also step on it, you know?
Otto, you had a question about the prison.
Oh yeah. So actually, I'm gonna experiment with that right now. So is there any like, what are the walls looking like in our area, and any of
Inside
them
the
near
dome?
Yeah, any of them near the entrance?
Thick stone. This is a natural formation, supposedly, because it's kind of a perfect half sphere. But you have 4 entrances: north, south, east, west. And as you kind of chew on the oddity of it, it kind of clicks that you're dead center of the island.
Gotcha. Do I see any over 6 foot slabs of rock just kind of sitting around?
Sure.
I'm gonna get one of the either one of the hill giants or stone giants, and just gonna, I think the stone giant would actually be able to hear me, and just see if he can carve as many holes as I do, or as I have runes.
So you're trying to copy a large-scale version of this prison?
Just, I mean, not so much large scale, the same as we have been doing. I'm just trying to get, like, because obviously, like, I can put it on top. I just want to see if I can engrave them into this,
Interesting.
This slab.
Well, unfortunately, just copying what the runes on the stones are does not in itself create another.
No.
Okay.
That's not what I'm doing.
Okay,
like,
sorry.
I'm asking him to carve little engravings as far as like pockets for the stones themselves.
Oh,
to
little
sit in.
like divots and stuff like
Yes.
that. Oh, smart. All right. Yeah. He just kind of grounds and scrapes, and soon you have all the indents necessary to correctly create, to nuzzle in the correct format of the stones to create the portal.
From that, I'm gonna put the stones in there and try to create try to open the portal.
You activate it, and the inner piece. Go ahead.
Oh, and after it activates, I'm gonna ask one of the hill giants if he can lift the stone portal up.
Yeah. So you activate it, and it kind of bows inward, the whole creating, and you hear the little undead dude, hello, and you're like, hang on, and the stone giant lifts it up, and the hole follows suit.
But the hole stays
On the
obviously
stone.
gravity stays same in the hole.
Yeah. Oh.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
Interesting question. I like where his brain's at. I don't know what he's up to, but I'm excited to see what he do.
See, Otto is using his brain again.
We're gonna need a lot of blue chips.
All right. The teleportation circle finished. Otto, I assume, recollects the stones for Drogar's.
Yeah, put
little
the slab
dungeon.
down, recollects the stones, and I'm heading out with them.
All right. The portal is ready. Anybody else doing anything else before we head off to Dragon's End? Okay. Fizbin.
Well, actually, Crichton is going to ask the fire giant if he's going to go with them.
You are given a, we helped you, you stay here and fight for us. You know, you helped us, we helped you. That was not the agreement. You don't get to, she doesn't want you to go anywhere. She wants you to stick around and fight because you've been so paramount to their survival as of yet. So,
Okay.
but you can
if
fight.
they
You
get
can
lost,
fight that
that
if
is
you like.
okay.
If you can roll a persuasion if you want to go with them.
I think he will.
Okay.
Only because he's got the ability to. He's got the outrider background.
Mm.
So in the event that they get lost, they would travel twice as fast with him to get back.
Smart.
But he's not great at persuasion. So even with that roll, a 16.
Okay. Yeah, you can convince her.
Okay.
She kind of does like a dismissive nod of agreement and kind of turns and walks off. The stone giants all kind of get up. Skiop goes over and claps his hand on the shoulder of Crichton. Little head nod and keeps walking.
Excellent.
Now the hill giants are like ripping off large boulders from the spine and stockpiling them to throw at the enemy. All right. Thranduin, you look like you got something you want to say. Okay. The party steps into the teleportation circle. Crichton included. There's a bit of a pivot inside as you kind of step through it. A little bit of a strange experience, but you step out in a separate room from the counselor's hall, the city hall. Standing there, kind of cleaning his nails, is Venton, the keeper of coin, and he kind of looks up. Ah, welcome back, heroes of Dragon's End.
Thank you.
I see you've returned us our favorite barbarian. Good to see you again.
Crichton is just looking around. This place is different from last I was here.
Yes, we've been prosperous.
You have all learned very nice magics. I like it. That would have been very useful a while ago.
Indeed. Anything I can help you with? Kind of leans forward on his desk.
The cleric steps up. We are going to have another meeting very quickly. We have very little time. Can we gather everyone?
Yes, of course. And he gestures over a runner boy, and then he squirrels off. I guess I'll see you in a moment. Thank you for the subject, huh? And he kind of gets up, kind of walks off through the double doors into the chamber where the debates are had. After a while, you hear the bells ringing, and people, understudies, servants, all of them kind of, clear out the area and sweep up the floor and stuff like that. A table is placed in the middle of the table is placed in the middle of the room, and the council comes together. Lord Somber, the Chancellor, Nutmeg, the voice of the people, the halfling, Palion, the vanguard of the hunt, Venton, of course, the keeper of the coin, and he has gone back to his traditional scribbling in a scroll while listening. Skinna, captain of the guard, Tariff, the keeper of the path, and Hillel, the Yuan-Ti prince, who, as he walks in, looks over at Thranduin. He kind of grips him in a big ol' hug. It is so good to see you again, friend.
Yeah, it's great. How have things been here?
Interesting, to say the least. a lot of things being done quietly. A lot of people going about their ways. But the Yuan-Ti, they are well. We have been prospering.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Yes. And what have you, sire?
I have
Anything I should know
troubling
before this?
news.
Oh, okay.
Which we should bring to the attention of the entire council. We should get this started.
Yes.
He kind
we
of
will
looks over at
speak-
you.
We will speak after we've alerted everyone.
All right. And he kind of saunters, gives a wave over to Otto and Brady, and sits in his seat. Kind of saunter, just kind of leaned back, kind of a half smile that he keeps on for show. Eventually, the counselor, the chancellor, Lord Somber, stands up, boom, hits the small mallet hammer, and goes, "All right, yes. Emergency council meeting is called into session. It is roughly 1. And you see people kind of scribbling along his words. Thranduin, hero of Dragon's End. Fizbin, I believe you have called this meeting to accord. Speak.
We have come back from our... How long were we gone?
You've been gone for like a week.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
We've been gone a fortnight. And we have returned only to go back again. But we're here looking for reinforcements. Thranduin here can explain our situation.
Everyone
Sorry,
turns and
the
looks at
profit
Thranduin.
of the Yuan-Ti.
Okay. Everyone kind of turns and looks at him.
He relays the whole giant situation with great efficiency, much better than Critfail Jake can.
Okay.
So for
Allow me to.
sake of time.
Allow me. So, okay. So the giants need help. They're in a position within the native lands. Are you giving the information of the tattoos? Are you giving the information of the fire giant and Skiop?
Giving the important, relevant, like we need to help the
so
giants.
we need forces.
Because like the battle is coming. The natives need to be taken care of because if they overrun the giants, then they will overrun us.
Okay.
Because the Giants also agreed to discuss potential, like, harmony amongst Dragon's End and the Giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did. That's right. Yeah.
So it's kind of important, like,
So
you
you're
help
talking-
us, we help you, kind of.
Yeah. So you bring that up as well, Thranduin. Go ahead and do that in character for me.
Okay. These giants are willing to discuss a truce. I know in the past the giants are what made Drogar's forces leave in the beginning, but if there can be a peace between the two, Dragon's End will prosper for many years to come.
Lord Somber kind of nods along, and Nutmeg kind of quietly clicks his fingers together while listening, and expresses that the danger of having giants around. I don't know if this would be safe for all of us. And then Skinna, Captain of the Guard, agreed. I am in charge of keeping these people safe. Having multiple giants roam our town could be very dangerous. Tariff, interestingly enough, the keeper of the path, the holy man that has kind of been an antagonist to the party, kind of leans forward and goes, well, have we considered keeping the more sentient giants around, giving them succor? And Hallel, kind of the snake prince, kind of leans forward. We are forming a coalition, Tariff. We have been able to live peacefully under your town. I see not why we could make accommodations for the giants. And debating kind of ensues. Thranduin, you kind of pace a bit, kind of walking around the room, listening to each individual argument.
He's gonna throw out the do not let the fear of what you do not understand doom this entire operation.
Venton begins comparing numbers, and you can see that his brow is kind of furrowed. He's looking at the finances. Pallion, with her kind of beehive of hair, elegant dress, kind of gets up. The Vanguard agrees with the information that has been expressed. I, for one, am willing to support and engage my forces as seen fit. Hillel, the Snake Prince, also stands up. Where the voice of Gent goes, we follow. If he says we are to move, then we shall move quickly. And time might be of the essence. I move for a vote. Who will direct their forces in the name of the heroes of Dragon's End? After more debating, it is voted that they will assist. The Lord Chancellor, Lord Somber, he is for it. Nutmeg is against it. Pallion is for it. Venton is against it. He believes that we don't have the funds to overextend right now. Skinna, Captain of the Guard, is also against it. Hillel, the Snake Prince, is for it. And surprisingly, Tariff is also for it. And it is agreed that you will have Tariff, Pallion, and Hillel's martial forces and assistance with the blessing of the Lord Chancellor. So you have Pallion's Vanguard, you have Hillel's Iwanti, and you have Tariff's sorcerers. And with that, the meeting is adjourned. People stepping out. Tariff kind of walks up to Thranduin, kind of looks at the party and goes, "This is an olive branch. I expect future cooperation in exchange for our assistance. It doesn't seem like you're in a position to turn away any help you can get. My sorcerers will be at your command. Does this suit you?"
It does.
Good. He turns and walks.
I'm very confused. I don't see an olive branch.
I've missed Crichton.
And John said how.
Crichton, it's just.
I guess
that-
Thranduin would be a little bit more well versed, so he would know what that's a figure speech.
Yeah, you're from
go.
Yeah.
the Endeavor.
Gonna head over to Hellel and
Okay.
start talking to him about it's like, so we got a big battle that's about to happen, and I was just wondering, how much of those blue chips do you guys still have down there?
We have been hoarding the deificancence of Gent for generations. We have a lot.
Well, we're
He
gonna
starts
need
rolling a
lot.
cigarette. He hands you one.
I take it. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need as much of that as we can get into a relatively large hole.
So, our stockpiles are held with the Queen at the volcano. Well, near the volcano. We do not have much here, but this is what I will do. And he kind of gestures over Thranduin, Brady, Fizbin, and Terra. This is what I think we should do. I will have my second in command join you with my forces, and I will make haste to the volcano. and begin garnering what martial troops we have, a second wave of reinforcements. And as quickly as we can, we will begin moving this blue metal to where the tiefling suggests. What do you think, Thornwing?
That sounds good.
As the party knows, this blue metal, when heated up, is explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, we need to talk about Gent.
Okay.
I have learned some distressing things about him. That he is not exactly what we thought he was.
He kind of looks at his servants and his supervisors and all of his staff, and he kind of and they scurry. Everyone else has mostly left. So we have the party and we have Hillel. Less ears. And he kind of goes, continue.
He revealed to me what he intends to do when he's freed.
And that is?
Destroy everything. He offered me alone safety from this destruction.
Does he not care for his loyal followers?
The blue essence that you treasure so much. Are the remains of his last following. They were dwarves.
He goes from kind of not understanding to quiet horror. Why would he do this thing? He burnt his fingers, the cigarette kind of in his shock, allowing it to burn all the way down. He rolls himself another one.
He cares only for power for himself. I followed him blindly, and I intend to leave him where he is.
We have been giving his essence back to him for generations. It doesn't make sense. We have been helping him. When you know that this actually has not been not been having any effect.
I don't think it actually has been doing anything.
He looks shocked. He actually looks over at Brady. What are your thoughts?
Crap.
He wants to hear everyone's thoughts as well. So prepare yourselves.
Dang it.
I think that good people can often get deceived, and I would hate to see anything bad happen to you and your people for following the wrong person. I think you should listen to Thranduin.
He kind of nods, looks over at Otto.
I just never liked either of these deities that were on there, so.
Don't blaspheme and call these people deities. They're barely demigods.
Fizbin, you can't use words like demigods around Crichton. Explain to Crichton what
While he
demigod
starts
means.
explaining to Crichton the
Crichton knows what it is.
syncrasies, the subtle deific pantheon level of complexity, Hillel looks over at Terra. And what does one of the natives to the Sunken Isle have to say?
I think Gent sucks.
Really?
Yeah, no, he's always been a jerk. What are you talking about?
Tell us what you really think, Tara. No.
You don't want to know what I really think. That was me being nice.
Well, I am concerned for your position, Thranduin. But you have treated my people well. I will inform the queen.
I tell you this to not deceive you.
Yes.
I follow Gent no more. I am no longer his voice, and I want nothing to do with him. But I ask you, as a friend, that you help us.
He kind of goes to roll another cigarette and then puts it away. Of course. The tradition is well and good, but survival and the alliance formed. This is more important. We must change with new information. But I worry about how the queen will react. Which is why I will go in person, and I will send my second in command to follow, to be with you. He is loyal to me, and no one else, not even Gent. Gives you a tight smile.
Good luck, hello.
Where is Johnny in all this?
I mean, he's not there.
He was once friends with them. Where can we find him and send him as well?
You can go find him out in the town proper.
Didn't he go into hiding?
Has he finally come out from
Yeah,
underground?
he went into hiding with.
You're not aware.
too.
You'll have to find out. That's a good question.
And Crane has no idea where he is. So he's just...
Last we knew, he was hiding with the UNT.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh,
The church was gonna burn him at the stake, and we told him to lay low.
even better. He's probably there now.
Fingers crossed.
At the stake or at the EONT?
Look outside. Oh no.
Ah, yes,
That's
Johnny.
draconical.
I don't
Husk.
think Johnny can cook that well, so he's probably
Someone
just
having
what
a
he wants.
barbecue? Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Roasted dragonborn. What?
When you are ready, I will leave now. But when you are ready, you may find Bristle. He can be found down below, and I will have him begin garnering our troops. He slaps you on the shoulder. Luck. And he gets up,
To you as well.
kind of looks about, has a moment of like, there's so much to do, and then just quickly leaves.
Get our stuff.
Well, that went well.
Randuin has become a good leader.
Mm-hmm.
He's just absently rubbing his tattoo. Almost, with the half, like, trying to rub it away, but knowing that it won't. It's just... Well, I guess I'll see if my shield's ready to go.
Okay.
Armor!
The party
Yeah.
begins making their way towards the shop, the dwarven blacksmithy that remains, and you find a boarded up building.
No.
After asking around a bit, it seems that the flailing halfling, the apothecary, who was going to work with those dwarves in making your magic items, was burned at the stake. He was declared a pagan, and the dwarves, seeing the politics at play, left.
Do we
Well-
know where they went?
Probably
guess
back to
let's
the
just-
northern kingdoms.
Break in.
It is.
I'll get my rocks back at least.
He would have taken his. They would have taken their merchandise with them when they left.
Would they have left anything?
You're welcome to.
If I-
You're welcome to.
I mean,
Terra
since
Star-
since
Okay,
we
I'll go
paid,
in there.
All
we
right.
paid in advance
We
and
paid!
and are known.
Mhm. So
Maybe
I'm
they would
going
have
in
left.
there.
Maybe they
Terra-
would have left it
you can kind of pry the boards apart and kind of open the window, and you kind of go inside. Again, kind of an open setting. I just threw my dice by accident. Kind of an open setting. It looks like everything was packed up in a hurry. You do see a few things on walls, like a sword that's just a sword, stuff like that. Make a perception check. Everyone who goes into said building to kind of snoop around.
Oh yes.
Brandon, why do you need shield? You just
Sorry.
you use the magic missiles and the fairy dust and all that. Why do you need shield?
13.
19.
I use that to protect the rest of you.
You're not frontline fighter. You've always been in back throwing magic missiles.
Yeah, he's always been.
Just
always
summon
been-
sword. I
Yeah.
use this.
He does now. Last season, most of the time was just fairy dust and magic missiles. Crichton knows nothing about this.
That's true.
Well, that's right. I kind of got the sword at the very end for the dragon fight, didn't I?
This skinny drow, this fights in front line now. Okay.
Well, we lost our frontliner, so someone had to step up. You were off playing with plants or whatever, so I
I
had
see
to-
your skin has not turned gray yet. That's good. Maybe
Yes.
stupid magic mirror was just stupid magic mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're hoping that's yeah. Anyway, turns to look at whatever is
Bradee's just gonna kind of like shove between the two and be like, "Oh, we're inside now."
Craig's just laughing. He's just laughing. He's like, there's like no actual like threatening going on. Craig just thinks this is hilarious. He's just,
Yeah.
this is just bullshit
banter.
back and forth.
People are weird.
Bradee
rolled a
can't handle
22.
any conflict between friends, so she's like, "Nope,
What
stop
was
that."
that Thranduin?
the 22.
22.
Yeah,
all right.
Thranduin was just like, ha ha ha. Oh yeah, that happened, didn't it? It's like, so glad that's now at the forefront of my memory.
Bradee and Thranduin notice a floorboard that is not as it's not of the same make as the rest of the wood of the floor.
Just looks over at her and starts going like yanking it up.
Yeah, they both are like, "Get it up!"
You pry it up and you find a hastily scrolled letter, as well as the basilisk eye, and Terra's stones. It is a genuine apology. I'm afraid, it says in crude common, because they're dwarves and they primarily speak dwarvish. I'm afraid we had to go to more favorable lands. We have returned to our home. We have been pressured. The halfling who was set to help us was declared a pagan and was burned at the stake. We understand when eyes turn towards dwarves. So we have left. Apologies. The money is not there.
Oh crap.
The money is not there. The basilisk eye
Yeah.
and and the stones that were given do remain.
No, my
He
armor!
starts just breaking the place, I guess.
Gosh!
Bradee has a little temper tantrum.
Dang.
I was relying on that armor.
Of course, you're the one that's probably the most upset out of everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that sucks. It's like, no, you don't understand. Have you ever been gored by a minotaur?
I
don't
paid extra for magic resistant things, you evil dwarves.
Evil.
No, sorry. Mean, cruel, didn't return my money. And she's probably saying all this in whatever dwarvish she can. She's just like, God.
just cursing the sky.
All right.
Then she's just like, all right, let's go. Just leaves like, I'm done with this place.
Brandon needs shield. Bradee needs armor. I'm very confused. Is she also a frontline fighter now?
No, and I'm not sure she has
Yes.
proficiency in armors, but
She's barred. It might be light.
I think it's light armor.
Yeah,
it was
probably
gonna be
light.
light armor with a resistance to a thing that I got to choose.
But
That's
how
right.
funny would it be
That's
to see
right.
Brady in heavy armor on the front line?
Trying to play the
Chink,
lyre.
chink, chink, chink.
Just
Trying to
barely
play an
able to
instrument.
lift a foot to walk forward. Just
Exactly.
Takes
They'd
a point
either
of
look at
exhaustion
her
after
like-
every 30 feet.
yeah.
They'd either look at her like, oh, who sent the child up to the front, or oh my gosh, this must be a
just-
powerful being if they
it's
sent
just
her to the
Aang.
front.
It's Aang from that episode when they go shopping and he's in the whole thing of armor and he just like super epic and just like and just falls over. That's Brady in armor.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Fizbin, do you want to check on Tommy?
Yes, please.
Okay. You guys, Fizbin makes his way towards the ship where he finds Tessa, Tommy, and the cracked sailor that had a message from that has long been trying. Tessa's been trying to decipher said message from the cracked sailor.
As well as building up our church.
Yep. You kind of walk on board and you hear Tommy come scampering over. You're back! It's so good that you're back! Tessa! It's so good that you're back! Tessa!
Calm down. Blessings of the Stormfather be upon you.
Are you back to stay? Can I come with you? Are you leaving? What are we doing? Where are we going?
Some of those things. Not all of them. No, we're not here to stay, and no, you cannot come with me.
Okay.
Where we are going is a giant battle full of blood and death, and I'm not sure you want to be there.
I want to kill in the name of the Stormfather.
Yes!
Who
That's
gave Tommy Adderall?
good for you. Good outlet.
Or at least the D&D.
The door
Keep
slams
the
open.
boat clean.
The door slams open, and Tessa, "Hey! It's great to have you back." And she kind of comes over and gives you a big hug. How's it been? How you doing? How you go? You've been gone a week or so now.
Yeah. Do a quick montage of some of the things that we did.
Oh, all right. This is very interesting. We've gotten a little bit of leeway over the past week with our friend. His name is Patrick, and he's come out of his state of shock just to find himself in a slightly less intense state of shock. He's very quiet, but I do believe we're making progress. I have not been able to start a church of any such kind yet. I'm trying to find a way around Tariff and his people, making sure I do this in a way that doesn't just get me hung. But, you know.
Is there anything I can do to assist in that? Because after hearing about someone being hung for paganism, I think we might have to maybe expedite the process of
Burned.
building a church.
You could go to the Chancellor and, actually, no, you could go to Venton, the Keeper of Coin, and purchase a building.
That would probably take more expenses than I have now.
There are 2 stores that are unoccupied right now.
Yeah, that's true. There's a burnt down building and a closed building. You could make use of either of those. One of those. You could use one of those. The other one's burnt. It's a
Your
little
mission
cool.
is to help establish this church. If you need my blessings and you need something written for me to provide the maker or the treasurer, then let me know and I'll write it. But this is your job.
Okay, I'll go write one up and you can sign it. And she kind of runs off.
The bed is still there, by the way.
The bed is still there. What's the rest of the party up to?
Can I go into? I know the apothecary was burned, but I would just like to kind of go through it a little bit and see what seeds or herbs or incense, if anything, is left over.
Roll me a D100.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Posture
90.
check, everybody. 90? Okay.
Yes.
You find a greater healing potion.
Ooh, okay.
As far as everything that is made of burnable substance, it is burned away.
Okay.
You You find the large potion kind of soot covered. You kind of wipe it off, and it's a greater healing potion.
Okay.
Thranduin is just like attempting to somehow fuse the basilisk eye into his packed weapon somehow. If like he can just like summon it and have it just like kind of inside the cross guard. Just like
You get to a certain point where you realize if you continue, it'll damage the eye. But it is a possibility if you were to get some help. Not sure what that would look like.
Oh, you mean like some dwarves that work in armor and
and an apothecary.
weaponry? That would be real freaking
Maybe
convenient. that would
maybe a stone giant who is an artisan named Skiop.
Can Brady go talk to Paleon?
Yep. Paleon? You
Yeah.
kind of wind your way through town towards the nice district, if you will, where you find a bodyguards. You find guards kind of outside this bigger, not a mansion, but as close as Dragon's End's gonna make it to a mansion. And after having the butler declare who you are, she kind of comes out. Lady Brady, come in, please. I'm having lunch with Nutmeg.
Brady doesn't do that face. Haley did that face. Hello. Unfortunately, I can't stay long.
Tea
So
and scrumpets, at least. Scrumpets? Scones.
okay, a little bit.
Oh, excellent. You kind of go up into this kind of a miniature backyard garden, where you can see Nutmeg is still sitting there with his little tea, and he's already eaten so many scones, and he goes, "Oh, welcome! It's good to see you again. I knew this would happen eventually. Oh, sit. Tell us of your adventures, please."
Oh, okay. It's good to see you guys again. And she's just gonna sit and like get some tea and, eat a little scone. She'll tell, some stories in her like flamboyant way that she does, leaving out any details that Brady might feel Nutmeg could use badly.
Roll a
If that makes
performance
sense.
for me. And also, you're gonna have to be more specific, because that's just telling the DM to loop. That's a loophole, and I won't have it.
Well, I rolled a
Hydrate.
26.
Okay, they're enraptured by your tale.
And the kind of details I'm thinking of is maybe where the giants were hiding,
Okay.
especially the Skiop, and not mentioning Lady Arvosa.
Okay. Smart
Um,
thinking. Because
Yeah,
the
so-
held breath is all about the memory manipulation.
Exactly. So that she doesn't really mention either of them. Just mentions that they ran into a giant, and yeah, he was just kind of, an underling. He was kind of hard to communicate with. He didn't really know common.
Okay.
I spoke a little dwarvish to him, so throwing in some truths and some lies here and there, to try and make it so she doesn't reveal who they are. Or
Well, you do so masterfully with your performance as a bard.
and with that story, and just kind of catches them up, and now we're here. And actually, Paleon, I was wondering,
Yes.
we were originally getting some armor made, but clearly some things happened when we were gone, and they're no longer around. Is there any...
You hear a growl
Thing.
from Nutmeg.
I know.
Terra did not have any jurisdiction with that. If there was a problem with that, it should have come through me, and I could have handled it better. Paleon goes, "Go on, dear."
I was just wondering, by any chance, do you have anything that might better protect us or help us to fight during this battle that we're going into?
I might. I will be accompanying you in the coming battle. And while we prepare, I will see what the Vanguard has available, and will return with information. The DM needs time to think, and will be running around like a chicken with his head cut off during the break. That's not true. I'll just and then figure it out.
Thank you,
But-
DM. And to Palian, she's gonna take her hand and very sincerely tell her, any help you can provide. Thank you. And thank you for backing us in this.
Kind of cups her
it's
cheek.
important.
We're all on the same side, sweetie.
Of course. Well, this was fun. This was delicious.
Thank
With this, I should get back to my party, and we're all trying to prepare, and I don't want them to wonder where I've gone.
Well, I will see you soon. Nutmeg goes, yes, safe travels and all that. Come back to us unharmed.
Of course, and she'll gently, gently pats his shoulder, like in a loving way, like, oh, friend, but you know.
He goes, you know what? A bard needs a patron. And he kind of holds out a sack of gold. And he goes, to help. I don't know. It's the least I can do.
This is a lot you can do. Thank you.
Let me know if you need any more financial support from your pseudo patron.
Thank you. Just gonna head out.
All right. You note
How
that
much
you
did I
complimented
get?
the tea. Roll a d100. You compliment the tea. And the butler who made the tea is just like, Hero of Dragon's Den likes my tea.
Aww.
He's gonna tell everybody.
Is that a
I
good
love
sign?
that.
It's like 3 gold, and she's just like, throws it in the trash.
Yeah.
Hate the pig.
What'd you roll?
It's
Goes
his
into a
money.
corner and cries.
Tainted held breath money, cult folk.
You said D100? 70?
70. All right. Say hello to 700 gold.
Thank you, Nubik. Still
roll...
hate your guts, but
It's
thank you.
just nothing. Keep it gold, though.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a
But I'm
gift.
getting a Louis Vuitton set of armor.
Just if you don't want it, give it back. No.
As you're kind of digging through and counting the money, you waited until you're outside of the cordial moment, to kind of get into the money bag. You do note some runes kind of threaded into the inside of the bag. You don't know what that's about.
I would take the bag and put it somewhere else.
Yeah. That. She's gonna go back to her house.
Okay. On the
Check
way to
a-
the house, and just to be a little brief, at this point you do have. Oh wait, no, you have a place at the Dragon's End, at the inn. Yeah. Okay. So you go back to your,
No, I think we're. Well, either way.
either way, whichever. Yeah. Okay. If you want a house, then we gotta do all that. Continue. You get back to your place.
And I had noted previously that Brady, every time she leaves her place, she leaves like a paper or something in the windows and doors to know if someone else has opened it.
So you get back to your apartment, your flat, and it looks like the pieces of paper are in place. There's a little note on the door that says the cleaning lady didn't enter, but she was
Okay.
assuming that you didn't want anyone to enter to clean up because it's kind of a inn kind of setup. And yeah, you enter in and it looks like everything's figured out.
And yeah, Brady's gonna switch that. She's gonna try and memorize the runes so that if needed, she'll redraw them later.
Okay.
But she will switch out the bag and like make it look like, oh, this is such a pretty bag. I don't want to take this into battle. Fold it really nicely, put it like nicely in her drawer, not just like toss it in the trash or anything.
Cool. All right. Anyone else? Tara, Fizbin, Crichton, Otto?
Right, just kind of hanging out. So if anyone wants to chat, I guess you can.
You do.
There's
Crichton
not a whole
does
lot
get
to
a
do
few
in the city.
like wide-eyed Gawker locals who are like, "Oh my God, you're back!"
he's traveling, so he's got his he actually had taken bear's fur and remade his vest out of it.
Okay.
So he's got pieces of the brown bear kind of on him for his
Okay.
traveling gear. And he also has not one but 5 auto stabs,
Oh yeah.
all like hanging out on his back.
And all 5 crowls just like chilling.
Just the owls are just
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
Just
they're
like
just
this
chilling.
like. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
he's got
super
this
cool,
peacock
actually.
wave
That's
going
kind
on
of
behind
freaking
him.
awesome, actually.
That's amazing. Tara, after looking through there, will definitely be hanging out and like tickling the chin of one of the little crowds.
Okay.
Taking a feather, sticking it right on the top.
All right. Okay. Anything else? Fizbin, Otto?
Fizbin's doing his thing on the ship.
Right. Otto?
Probably. Let's see. I mean, just trying to calculate the situation with the blue chips and everything, and also just kind of chilling there with Danky, trying to work out some plans.
Danky gets
of-
him some burger.
Yeah, just sitting there grabbing some spaggle.
Yeah, at some point,
And,
Danky looks down and goes, "Do you think we will die?"
You know, buddy, we've been going through quite a lot. If we are to die, that would suck. But at
have-
the same.
I have spent much of life avoiding fight unless I can win. But
Same here.
I do not see, even if fair fight, dangerous. I
Well-
don't like fair fight. I like fight I can win.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to work on right now.
You have ideas?
I've got a few. Hopefully they'll work out.
Okay. I will stay. You realize he had been chewing on just rabbiting, which he is prone to do. But if you seem confident, but you seem confident and you've got ideas, which is usually what gets the two of you out of tight spots.
Yeah.
He declares he will stay, and that says a lot. But you do realize he was quietly thinking about just running. Maybe
Which,
trying to
I mean,
convince
that
you to run with him and something like that. Just but it was clearly like on his brain.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just remind him, it's like, I mean, we can run if you want. The only problem is running is a temporary solution for what we're gonna have to deal with if they don't win. Because then we have to deal with the villagers ourselves
True.
without backup.
And Terra. Want to keep Terra safe.
That too.
Yeah. Okay. We stay. All right. Anything else we got to cover before we go to the break?
Do we want to do a conversation between Crichton and Tara before or after the break?
Go for it now. Because I once we come back, the party will head off.
Also, real quick, what is this land called? I know we're Dragon's Den, but what's the whole island?
This is the Sunton Isle,
Sunshine Island.
a name that was given to them by the people in the north, the kingdoms in the north. Otherwise, it wasn't really named.
I just called it home.
All right.
Crichton's never met this person before, so like he can't. I mean, it's not like he would stop her from playing with the birds, but yeah, he would watch what she's doing a little bit.
Tara knows that this is the one that she gave the druid powers to, correct? The
Yes.
team shoulder?
She knows that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so as I'm tickling the owl, I'm just gonna be like, so, that little dragonfly I gave you, you don't seem to have those powers anymore, bud.
The glow bug.
It was a firefly.
It was
Firefly. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
that he points over at Danky along the way. That was given to
Just
me by that
Dog and a
creature.
burger.
Yeah, and I gave it to him.
Oh, that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Just food all over his face.
And now I understand. I understand now why it is you are not so anxious like everyone else. Well, it is nice to know that my friends have friended someone else that is so strong. They are very capable individuals, but they are all still from, like myself, the Endeavor. They don't really know this world. In fights, they don't really need a lot of help, but the fight in here and in here, they are constantly in fear of losing those battles. So, but I understand you can commune with a god, this lightning godfather.
Oh, yes, I've talked to the Stormfather a couple of times. I'm pretty connected, just spiritually, kind of in general. But yeah, I've asked him for advice a couple of times. He's helped us out of some sticky situations and making decisions.
Yes, you are a satyr, so you are very spiritually connected. I know your kind. So, and I know your strength. I borrowed your power for a little while, so it is no wonder that Harmony wishes to use you as a body.
Oh, well, he's not gonna use me as a body. He thought I was dead.
Yes, he'll never get that wish. You were born in the world that my own father wished he could remain his whole life. You have a very natural affinity to spiritual blessings. So, you understand simplistic desires. Oh, also, I cannot give you that glow bug back.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But I do have maybe something that is just as good. I wish to thank you for gifting me your power. He pulls out like the little totem that he was using when like in all of last season. Basically, it's a very crudely carved out bear out of like a white wood. And it looks.
Is it the white wood? Is it the white wood of
Brother
the...
Bear.
It certainly is actually. Creighton never put that together, but it is in fact the white wood from this world. But it is, yeah, it's got like a little like tuft of bear fur, almost like a little mohawk on the top of it, and it's got like a leather string that you wrap around, and the very small, like the chest of it, almost like the bear is holding her, and maybe it is the chest, is like this very small green like gem, basically, and the small of it, and that's what his bear totem looks like.
Aww,
So
that's amazing.
Mhm.
Thank you. She's gonna go in and she's just gonna find
he said,
one of her gems.
This belonged to my father. It was his totem, his spiritual connection as he grew in the path of the bear. I did not know him. I was only raised by my very much tinier mother, though her personality was that of an Amazon. This became my totem as well as I picked up my father's teachings. I think my father would like you to have this, as would I. It is a gift. Thank you for helping my friends and myself in my journey.
Aw, thank you so much. I'm gonna look for a stone anyways. I know it's a gift, it's a thank you, but she feels weird not exchanging stones. And what should she pull out? I was not prepared. She pulls out a stone in return that looks like it's been marbled a little bit, where the paw and where it looks like it's a paw with like little claws at the top of it, and it's the closest she has. It's probably more like a fossilized, it's like a fossilized animal paw that's been marbleized in stone, and she will hand it to him as well, and they'll be like, well, for animal totem for animal totem.
He was totally expecting this, so he takes it graciously, knowing the ways of the satyr.
George, you have inspiration from Yame.
Yay! Excellent.
Excellent. We're gonna go to a break, and then we're gonna get to killing.
Yay!
Yay! I need some coffee.
She's not weak.
All right, we're back in.
Terrifying.
Brady is very powerful.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're super strong, Brady. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
So many weapons and magic.
yeah.
Gosh.
Don't forget about your
Strong,
healing
independent
mechanic with.
bar that don't need no party.
Don't forget about the healing mechanic with Belle the Liar.
Yes. Yep. I had
Magic
that
items.
pulled up.
Yes. All right. So the party, after going about their various errands, reconvene by Dragon's End, the inn proper, Dunkin' Dragons. There is a well. Next to the well is a large, very used spiral staircase, kind of a highway between the two. There's a couple of these throughout the town, down into the lower places where the E1T live, under Dragon's End. It's a whole town. It's just also Dragon's End considered. That's just where they vibe. They are underdwellers.
So Crichton, what happened with Sobas?
Oh. A lot. I don't know where he is now.
But what about
Did everything
Sam?
work out with Sam? Yeah.
No, not really. Okay, so I showed up and I spent how long did I spend with him? Maybe
A couple of months.
4 months. I came to study to grow the druidic powers, but he was far too interested in the experiment Sam to really help me, so he put me to work. Do you remember the head chef plant monster that we had killed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that you all killed?
Well,
Yeah, I remember.
I murdered it pretty good. So he needed a new chef. So that's what I became for a while. It was okay. I mean, I've got the plant people in Sakarum. Sakarum, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a little plant guy that kind of just like crawls around him at all times.
Just chilling.
It's like a mini Groot, basically.
more
That's the
Spriggan.
armor dude, right? They could be
Yeah,
armor.
it's the armor dude. So, but yeah, he's just his name is Sakarum, apparently. His specialty is pancakes. Anyway,
Aw.
That's adorable. Just trying to hold this big spatula.
What are pancakes?
Someone get Tara some pancakes right now.
we
Before
shall
that
make you
happens,
some pancakes.
Thranduin is
Okay.
going to introduce Squishy to Sakarum, and they're going to.
The flump kind of floats over, and the little tiny Spriggan kind of crawls out. It's mostly like little tiny wisp of vine and a couple of leaves and stuff like that, and kind of looks out. I don't know. Let's roll for it. Let's see.
Oh no.
Okay. The flump is bemused by the Spriggan, kind of friendly and just kind of like, oh, what's this lesser being? And the Spriggan is like, and just kind of little leaf hand comes over and kind of strokes it.
Yay! I really wanted to buy like a mini Groot and just put it on my shoulder for this, but decided not to.
They get along.
This is how it went.
Yeah, there we go.
Aw.
Best of friends.
That's so cute.
I'm so happy.
We are
Yay.
children. And I love it.
Wait, so what about Sam?
Well, so during those 4 months, it was okay that I was being left alone because I got to read his books. I created an idea I thought maybe that would help me. I came to Sovas and he gave me a choice. He said he would help me, but only if he would plant his seeds into my brain.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that sounds like a perfect trade.
Of the dragon leaf tree.
which I still have
He also,
an entire container of.
he also, of which Denki was munching on for a little while until he stopped him. He also decided that the only way to save Sam was to put it in his brain.
Right. I did not accept, of course. I grew very angry, began to have this argument with him, but on the same day is when the natives attacked him. It was like the entire continent of natives that had to show up at his front door. It was... I fought, but I did not have the glow bug anymore to become bear, and Sovas used his magic to cast me away on that day.
So the natives have Sam?
Assuming that Sovas did not win, then yes. And it did not look like he was going to win.
That's not good.
Yes.
All right, mission after this battle.
That's rough, buddy.
It's okay. The fire giant has helped me a lot more in this past 2 months.
Yeah. Essentially, you just went on one long rage-induced Rambo-esque murder fest killing spree for the past 2 months, and that solidified your levels in Barbarian and burned away the remaining druidic powers that you were clinging to and trying to master unsuccessfully under Sovas's tutelage.
Yep.
So he's a full-on barbarian now.
Nice.
What kind of barbarian? You guys have no idea. But he is one.
You'll never guess.
Can I look around, and besides the owls that he has, do I see a fast flying bird?
Like nearby. Make a nature check.
Okay.
While they had been sitting there, would it have been okay for Brady on a piece of paper to sketch out the runes that were inside the bag that Nutmeg gave and present it to the group?
Sure
See
thing.
if anyone knows anything.
What did you get?
18.
18? Yeah, there's a couple of seagulls.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to one until I'm about 30 feet away from it, and I'm going to cast Animal Messenger on it.
Oh.
I'm going to give him the description of Ski-Bop. Skilly-Bop.
Ski-Up?
and-
Okay.
Ski-Up.
Skippy.
I'm gonna tell the seagull to tell him, we have reinforcements on the way. The Iwanti will be coming from 2 fronts.
They'll be coming from under the...
Yeah, but because he's going over to the volcano, so there's going to be some coming from there and then some coming
Okay, then
from that
I got
second
you. Yeah.
force. Is there anything else that I should tell them, guys?
And that some people from Dragon's End, right?
Along with troops from Dragon's End. On our way! And then send the...
Victory is ours!
Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay, thanks, bye! And I'll send that off so that they know that the meeting went well and they can expect us.
Okay.
In
All right.
case anyone gets there before we do.
Just with the bird. We're awesome. That's it. That's all I get. They're just like, what?
Okay.
Only we had someone here to translate this.
So, the party, without further ado, if there's nothing else you guys want to cover.
The paper with the runes
That's
tells
right.
them about the meeting with Nutmeg and the money. I do mention. Yeah, Nutmeg decided to give us some coin in case we need some coin, 700 gold worth of coin. But
How generous.
yeah, very
He's gonna-
generous.
He's gonna give her a knowing look because they both know he's part of the Held Breath, but just like, sus.
Yeah. The only thing that bad vibes.
I'm pretty sure I saw Nutmeg vent.
Otto runs over and hits the button. Everyone appears. What are we doing? And the council is called to session. D&D
don't
Among
know
Us
what
would be
you're
kind of
talking
cool
about.
for a one-shot, actually.
Yeah, it would.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the weird thing was, inside the bag that the coin was in were these runes. And I present the paper. Does anyone recognize these or know how to
They
read
who
them?
know about runes can make an Arcana check. If anybody here knows
I've been
about
messing
runes.
with some rune
You can make an
stones
Arcana
for a
check.
while, can't
Yeah,
I?
you can take a gander.
Dude,
Can I try?
Snap runes?
17.
17. Okay.
Is
Do you-
not even gonna try.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys know about runes? If you do, then go for it.
Do druids know about runes? Like, do I use runes? Like, I do ritual stuff.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, because I got a nat 20.
What I've learned from Jen, anything about runes? I mean, in Drow Society, I'm sure they have them, but maybe
What's
not
your-
enough to actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
It's your Arcana total then.
Oh, it's 0.
No, I
No,
meant
it-
Taylor.
22.
Nice.
I'm not strong in Arcana, I just rolled really well.
Neither am I.
Because my
I got
confetti dice.
17.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We like that dice. Keep that dice around.
So colorful.
Okay. These runes allow someone somewhere to gain some kind of insight on the surroundings of the bag.
So it's a tracking rune.
It's like a clairvoyance kind of thing.
Like a
Something.
scrying type of thing?
Something like
That they
that.
can see
You're not
what's
100%
around them?
sure, but
Okay.
that's definitely eavesdropper
ballpark.
vibes.
Yeah, definitely good that you left that at home.
He can't get into my room now, can he?
I don't think they were teleportation runes. You would know teleportation runes.
Were they teleportation runes?
They were not teleportation runes. Besides, what's in your room?
Nothing
Probably
I haven't
nothing.
seen before, 'cause
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
snuck in so many times.
Yeah. Considering she usually carries everything of importance on her at all times, so
Yeah.
she just doesn't want them to be able to leave anything in there either. Like last time. Okay. Well, yeah, good thing I left that bag.
Yeah, smart thinking.
All right.
The look on Nutmeg's face when he doesn't see anything.
Why am I in a room?
Oh, shucks.
In a drawer.
Just
All right.
darkness. He just sees darkness.
The vanguard of the hunt gather sorcerers from the path as well, who claim to be clerics and paladins. As the party descends down the spiral highway into the lower regions of Dragon's End, there is a sizable force, all kind of being directed by Hillel's second in command, Bristle. And as the party kind of comes down, you can see this well-lit cavernous region, kind of wooden buildings, kind of all, or stone, kind of all. It's basically a whole nother town down here. It's just also affiliated with Dragon's End. You can see multiple caverns going off in various directions, and in the center cavern heading eastward, the army is gathering. The party kind of approaches. Bristle kind of comes over and snaps a bit of a salute and goes, "Sayed, we are ready when you are."
Excellent. And the rest are also ready to go?
Yes.
Then we'll move out at once.
Okay. Captain! And the troops all kind of gather up their stuff, backpacks, wagons, various, the wagons holding supplies, their armor and stuff like that. They don't expect to go into battle within the hour. And a train of supplies is established between the lower ends of Dragon's End and the Vanguard. The Vanguard of the Hunt does kind of scout out ahead with other scouts of the E1T, and you begin making your way in earnest. Palion catches up to Brady and goes, I did manage to scrounge up a certain set of light armor, and from what I understood from your story and what has happened along the way, and she kind of looks over at Tariff's sorcerers, you were in the market for armor that helped you. Sorry. With psychic damage.
Yes.
I have such a set in hand. And she kind of gestures over to one of her servants, kind of running over with a bundle, and he kind of unwraps the leathers to show you a set of light armor that gives you resistance to psychic damage.
Oh, Palion, thank you. This is perfect.
Happy to help. You note that she also is kind of in furs, has this kind of angular hood up, and has various light armor on as well. She carries a spear.
Very Assassin's Creed of you.
Yeah, I'm changing into that.
Okay. Go ahead and write down somewhere that you take half damage from psychic damage. And the party begins journeying into the darkness.
Tell everybody I'm on my way. Friends and new faces to see.
All right. Anything you guys want to cover over the couple of hours that you begin making your way?
And that would have been a great time to talk about Sovas.
Yeah, have you seen Sovas? Also, did you find my magic bolt?
Yeah, what?
My magic bolt. The bolt that I shot in the at the basilisk that didn't make it, but it was still in Sylvas's place. That, it's there.
Crichton did not hear anything about a bolt.
Couldn't tell you.
Do we still have the sending stone that Sovas gave us?
I believe so.
Yeah, we got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Be like, hey buddy, what's up? Where you at?
You would not get any response.
I
But
had,
that bolt is supposedly still in that tree tower somewhere. So you could one way dip yourself over there at some point if you wanted to.
True. And at some point I might do that. I just want to make sure that it's in a protected location.
Yeah, I couldn't
you're
tell
not
you.
aware. You're not aware where it's at. Okay. So the party makes camp after double time. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask Tara. You're able to make plants grow, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's all I needed to know for right now.
Okay. If I focus on it for 8 hours, you'll get double the amount of crops for the year.
Cool.
Wow, talk about making a living.
I know.
Heck, you'd be the love of every farmstead you ever visited. Anyway.
Oh yeah, trust me, Dragon's End will never be hungry.
After a double time march, the party and the army sets up camp in one of the ruins of dwarven cities, just on the outskirts. No one's allowed to. Bristle does not allow anyone into the city or anything like that. At some point, some people try to go in there for some looting, and they're whipped. Yes, Tara.
But, have any golden dandelions grown yet?
You are underground.
Oh, we're underground? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought
So
we
you're
were
not
underground.
able to know.
Dang it.
Yeah, it is a little off-putting for you and Brady, for that matter, being underground again. Poor Brady, her stress levels are just gonna keep rising.
My poor hooves are making so much noise. Where
Oh,
on the
yeah, you're in
grass
horse
they
mode, aren't
normally
you?
are very quiet.
Just
I'm always
dizzyingly
in
echoing.
horse mode. Be nice.
She will
Okay.
float over
I can't
to
take them
Brady.
off.
Brady's gonna die, but it's not gonna be because of the battle. She's just gonna have an aneurysm because
Yeah,
of the stress.
What was that,
Well,
Thranduil?
I'm just gonna have a panic attack.
Squishy floats over and rests on her shoulder.
She's like watching the ceilings, and anytime there's like a crumble of rock, she's like frozen for a second, and then okay.
I will give Birdie that potion that I found. Because I can wild shape twice and have a ton of extra HP if I need to go through HP. So I'll give that to her.
Okay.
What was it again?
It was a potion of healing greater.
Thank you.
You are welcome. I will delete it from my inventory.
During the break, Creighton also cooks up some things and hands you each a little treat, and explains that if you need just a little bit more health, go ahead and take a bite of that. Mechanically, as a bonus action, you can eat it, and it will give you 4 temporary HP.
Aww.
That's
Is
nice.
it a good berry?
No, it's the chef feat.
What'd you
Oh,
make?
That's so cool.
Did you make a little snack?
little
Little
like
panini?
square like pastries basically.
Nice.
Aw.
Nice.
Seeing Crichton like big burly guys like, here, have a piece.
He's got an apron on and a little chef hat.
Here, have a cookie.
Definitely have an apron. Definitely have an apron.
Just reminds me of the guy from Tangled.
Mhm.
Artilla's cupcakes are
I
supplied.
was just thinking that. but I couldn't remember his name.
Nailed it. I was
All right.
thinking more of the chef from Little Mermaid, but that works too.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Oh.
All right. Let's get into this. The party breaks camp. The army moves forward. Eventually, after another couple of hours, they begin to hear sounds of combat. Large crunching of feet from giants smashing into the ground. Brady kind of looks about, and through the echoing passages, you begin to hear sounds of men dying in combat. You have come close. Switching over to the combat music. All right. The party. Go ahead.
Just screams. That's it.
Battle music.
The music's
That was
fading.
metal ambiance.
There's ambiance, and then we also have some music fading in. So, party rounds a corner where the Vanguard is setting up ladders in this hole. You can see up into the daylight. You can hear the combat and the crunching of stones. And the party scrambles up the ladders where they see the giants already in battle. You're on the first floor, and so you can see where multiple hill giants are holding like these massive logs that are sharpened off of the end and have set up a perimeter of safety. You can see giants fighting and dying outside the dome, and various magics being flung back and forth, vines wrapping up and ensconcing some of the a giant and then dragging them down into one of the trenches. And you can see various natives kind of in the tree line shooting arrows, and various druidic shamans casting spells, and they seem to be wrapped in the same leaf-like armor that Crichton has, and they're slightly risen up off the ground with vines under them. You hear the roar of command of the fire giant on the floor above. This is a full-scale battle. What does the party do?
I'm ready. Do we roll initiative or what do we do?
You're not currently in combat. There is just combat all around you. We will not be spending the entire hour that we have left in combat unless you guys decide to directly engage. You can choose to, and so that's an option. So you guys can cast spells and stuff like that from a distance.
Okay.
You can go talk to the fire giant. The forces of Yuan-Ti and the Vanguard and various sorcerers begin pouring out, and Skiop comes down. You have come. Oh God, that is not the right one.
You have come just in time. We have been in combat for hours.
Sounds like we were late then, but all right.
We are ready to fold if we don't have some help now.
Great. All right, with the.
What? No, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
What? I know we have sorcerers, but what are the Vanguard? What kind of troops are they? Like frontliner?
They're a mix of rangers and riders. So mostly rangers in this case because they do not. It's trench warfare out there. There's not any room for a charge.
Right,
You could order them to try to like come out somewhere else and charge in, but yeah.
And what about the Yuan-Ti?
The Yuan-Ti are fighters. They've got spears, light armor. They're kind of scrappers. They'll fight dirty essentially. Think guerrilla warfare.
So I'm going to is it Bristle?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell him to take his troops and go towards the front lines. And I'm going to tell the Vanguard and the sorcerers to take up the rear, provide support and ranged.
Okay.
And to like, if any of them, well, no one's capable of healing because that's church stuff and the church is fake, right? So
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Brady. Brady can heal.
Right.
And Terra and the cleric of the Stormfather are here
Crichton,
as
yeah.
well. It is also raining and thundering outside.
So any kind of like
We get
protection magic that they can use on the giants or any support they can give to them who've already been fighting any relief that they can provide.
Okay.
Are we able to bottleneck them into one area?
So the various trenches are in a ring around the dome. There are various places where they haven't made trenches. So anyone rushing has to go across that land bridge, go all the way to the other side of the dome and cross another land bridge, and then go all the way across the dome and go to another land
Got it.
bridge.
If you need a funnel, I can make a wall of thorns somewhere for you. And we can try and use that as a funnel to make them run alongside it.
Yeah, if we can direct most of them into one specific area, that would be a good idea.
You trying to get into that trap that you had set up?
Yes. That being said, while that's going on, I'm gonna. So I'm assuming some of these E1T are also bringing the blue chips, right?
That hasn't gotten here yet. That is from the volcano, and that's happening.
All right. Well, we can still prep while that's getting here.
Okay.
Okay, well, because I can wait, I'll wait on the wall of thorns until you're ready, but I can at least right now cast 5th level Wrath of Nature.
Okay.
In a 60-foot cube. It's concentration for 1 minute. And there's a ton of stuff that it does.
Okay.
Do you want me to list
So
it all?
we'll get to that in just a second. So you make your way up to the second story, where you see the stone giants have all like carved last minute scar tattoos into their body, and they're just kind of like hulking, walking around, and the fire giant's pacing. She'll go over one of the stones that the hill giants have made and just turn it into a bit like pseudo molten and hurl it into the giants in the natives from afar. She kind of looks down.
Well, you showed up just in time, didn't ya? Get going.
Looks over at Crichton.
You get to work with your bloody deeds.
And she's gonna turn and just keep yelling orders and stuff like that. The hill giants up there, now laced with sorcerers and Vanguard archers shooting, they'll grab like a stone and stand up and kind of hurl boulders into their midst. You look out and there's just carnage. There are bodies in the trenches, a constant slew of arrows being shot down at the various choke points. But for the most part, it's just been defense. They haven't been able to do anything about the shaman and the rangers afar. You see one of the hill giants go down and fall over, kind of just covered in arrows. Falls off the second area and lands outside the dome. There are multiple bodies. There's blood everywhere. You can see the sorcerers hurling fireball across, trying to get at the shamans. What do you do? Tara, sorry.
Me?
Tara, yeah, Tara. So
Yes!
go ahead and
Okay.
do your thing.
I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get to where I can see the at least 120 feet away is as far as I can cast this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and go as far as I can to get.
You can get to the
people in
first
trees
land
and
bridge
stuff
of
like
the. You can get to the first land bridge of the trenches that they've built.
that. Great. I'm gonna get up there and I'm just gonna yell just this beastly roar and just be like, "Islands, defend yourself!" And all of a sudden, everything in the 120 feet away, 60-foot cube, all of the island starts to animate itself. The grasses grow
Oh my goodness.
immensely, and all of the grass in that area is difficult terrain for my enemies.
Okay.
The trees at the start of each of my turn, if anybody is within 10 feet of any tree, they have to make a dexterity throw or take 4d6 slashing damage from whipping branches.
Okay.
The roots and vines at the end of each of my turns, I can pick a specific creature. The choice is on the ground in the cube, and it has to make a strength saving throw or become restrained until the spell ends,
Okay.
which is a minute. And then they can use their actions to try and get out of it and all that jazz.
And how
And
long
then
does the spell stay there?
1 minute.
1
so
minute?
10
Okay.
rounds.
Okay.
And then the rocks, all of the rubble and the rocks on the ground, on bonus actions, so pretty much just 10 of them, a loose rock will just launch, and it's a ranged
my
spell
goodness.
attack. And on a hit, it makes 3d8 non-magical bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
And they have to succeed a strength saving throw or fall prone.
Okay.
And that all happens
Alright.
10 times.
So that's the one like big entrance. Oh my goodness, Frost! Thank you for the raid, homie. Appreciate that. Welcome in. We're doing some large scale battle. Giants v giants, natives v party, the like. All right, so yeah, that kind of that another raid, homie. Thank you. How do I say your name? Cosper, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. We're in some large scale battles right now. So that's the one kind of opening bottleneck that the giants have been able to use to get through to the dome. And so you watch as that becomes inaccessible to them. The giants that are already trying to weave their way through the trenches eventually are picked off. The giants who are there are battered, and in some cases, like the smaller, medium-sized creatures, the natives, are in there and get thrown into the ditch or knocked prone. You can see various people just getting shredded, just getting wrecked by your one spot, and that actually stops the invasion briefly. The giants kind of holding up and kind of, they don't have anywhere to go, and they're getting hit, and so they kind of back into the tree line and disappear. The natives continuing to harry, but for now you have some breathing time because of Terra. Go ahead and yuck your rock. You can pick one of the shamans. You can pick
Oh, heck yeah.
the one thing you do note is that you don't see a commander. That needs to maybe be drawn out or captured.
Okay.
That is a very important point that you guys do want to eventually try to accomplish, is whoever is in charge of this invasion, whoever's in charge of this attack, you do want to get your hands on. But for now, go ahead and roll your shenanigans.
That's a 27 for the rock bonus action attack.
Okay.
For it to hit.
Good lord.
And
Yeah, that hits. You see one of the
and then-
war shamans kind of raising up, and you see the stone just slam and break into him, and he hits a tree and collapses.
Great, cool.
Yeah. I mean, he falls prone.
Yeah, and the trees are just continuously doing slashing,
Sure thing.
4d6 slashing damage.
Roll your damage on that shaman.
That would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be 10 damage.
Okay. Shaman. You can see 5 shamans, and you suspect that there might be more by the way the trees kind of bend around people. But for now, you've got a little bit of breathing room. You're still harried, but you're not in danger of getting crushed, but getting overwhelmed by enemy forces. Party, make a perception check as the giants stop moving briefly, harried, and then back away. Everyone kind of goes up to the wall and they kind of peer out at the battlefield where there's just dead giants, dead humanoids.
23.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, very good.
Nat 1.
Ooh, yeah, you're busy. You're doing your thing.
I'm busy.
You're busy staring at the damaged shaman and making eye contact with him.
I'm throwing rocks at people.
16 and 12.
Okay. All right. Everybody who rolled a 15 or higher is able to see that the giants have been kind of mutated to their own ways. These enslaved giants. You can see that they've taken the golden antlers and kind of hooked around the outsides of their mouths and pulled it all the way back to the point where it's torn, almost Attack on Titan looking, and then buried and anchored into their necks. And you can see every now and then like one jerks as if someone magically has the reins on them, and they like wince in pain and they have a wild look in their eye. They are not fully under their own control. They are able to make decisions for themselves, but they can be harried in various directions and given commands. But they break.
Is it kind of like what Fizbin was able to do to Green? Is it kind of that kind of reaction? Like if they try and go against it?
Similar.
Okay.
There is someone controlling them. And it's similar. Yeah, it's similar. The rest of the Palian goes up to Fizbin. Dear, we haven't talked much yet, but I have brought some cannons. Shall I set those up? And where?
Cannons?
Cannons, yes.
Yes! They should have already
Where
been
do I
set
put
up.
them? We just got here.
So did I!
What do we do?
Looks over at like Thranduin and Otto, like
Where do we set up the artillery?
You're the masterminds here. I don't know. I'm going to go cast lightning bolts at things.
Okay.
I would say take out their shamans who are offering support.
But
What
where
do
do?
you say, Otto?
Okay.
Get it onto the second level and
level,
you
okay.
know, start aiming it towards the middle of the invading troops.
Okay. Into the tree line
Keep
it
that
is.
as separated as much as possible.
Follow the smart man.
They Otto helps direct and kind of start setting up the cannons. And just as the kind of minute passes, and your terrifying display of natural power begins to wane, you hear fire, and just a detonation of artillery cannon fire goes flying into the tree line. Multiple like in a vast arc, and multiple trees are just blown asunder, and more vision is given to the party and the defenders as trees are just mowed down. It'll take a while before they have another fire ready, but that will be up to the party when to use it specifically, because it takes a while to reload. But 3 men a cannon, just powder monkeys reloading. What does the party want to do? Fizbin begins casting lightning. He begins looking for shaman, I assume, and as one kind of sits up from the tree he was kind of attached to with the Spriggan, go ahead and roll to hit. Or however the calling of lightning works.
Oh yeah, I think the column is just a check, right?
Okay.
I'm on the wrong character.
They would use a dex save
Yeah, dex
to
saving
try and
throw.
avoid it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 5. Oh boy.
I'll use one of my things. Take 30 lightning damage.
God,
Be
that's a
prone.
lot of damage. Okay. So you
Oh,
it
I'm
kind
sorry.
of sits up.
There's more because this is in a storm, right?
This isn't a storm.
Okay. So actually, I casted that at 5th level. So 3, 4, 5. So 60 damage. 60 lightning damage.
Okay. Okay, that's he's gonna roll for shock because that's more than half his health. He's gonna fail. You briefly see his skeleton and he just goes, just flops back into the underbrush. There's like maybe foot-high tree trunks and shrubbery and just logs all kind of laid out, and he just disappears into the crowd, into the shrub, the underbrush, just flopped out. You did note that his Spriggan armor was just decimated.
Rip.
Not great, but all right. All's fair in love and war.
Okay. Thranduin, what you up to?
Well, he's melee, so he's gonna look at
Okay.
Brady, like give her a nod, and he's gonna rush into battle.
Okay. You kind of
Going
position
to-
yourself
going after
down
one of the,
on the first floor.
Crichton will follow.
Okay.
heading towards one of the shaman.
Okay. So with all the artillery.
Oh, wait, what?
Pretty-
Before he runs off, can Brady give Sending Stone
Sure.
to Thranduin?
Do you have the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a bit of a lull in the immediate fight, but as you're making your way down to the first floor, after Terra's powers begin to recede after the minute passes and the barrage goes through from the cannon fire, the giants do reemerge and they start charging again. And by the time you're down to the first floor, they've gotten to the defenses of the first floor of the dome, and you just wade into that fight. You can see multiple hill giants ready to go. Go ahead and pick one and start your fight. They're already in combat with each other, so you enter combat essentially.
And how far away am I from the shaman?
The shaman roughly 100 feet because they're at the tree line. So you're
So
yeah.
I'm at the very end, like the edge of the trenches.
You're on.
We made it through
No,
the
you're
trenches,
you're at the mouth of the dome right now.
Oh, okay. We'll
Just like high fives Thranduin.
Crichton does
Go.
or Fizbin does.
Crichton next to him.
All right.
That is a
So the natives are in the trees?
25 to hit.
In the tree line.
Okay.
Yeah. 25 to hit. That hits. That hits.
20 hit.
20. Yes.
That's why I picked the wrath one, because the trees would have attacked all the natives that were in them.
Mm-hmm.
And how far from the domes / the trenches is the tree line again?
From the trenches, roughly 50 feet. So 50 feet
And-
of trenches, 50 feet of grass that's been trampled in bodies, and then the tree line, of which now is roughly 60 feet because of the cannon fire.
Okay. Okay.
The 8 I need. Swear I had D8.
So basically, Thranduin and Crichton are swinging on this giant,
Mm-hmm.
and as they're running in, Crichton uses Rage
Okay.
to activate his abilities.
A familiar
And-
redness and tightness comes over your vision.
Yeah. And Thranduin attacks and Crichton attacks, and what Thranduin sees is like he's got the Minotaur axe in his hand, like actively using it instead of transforming. And as he strikes, just like from behind them, what is the only way Thranduin can explain it is just an army of like soul bears, just like ghost bears, just like forms up behind him and rushes this giant and just gets all up in his face, and they're just everywhere around them in the battlefield at this point.
Excellent. Excellent.
Heck yeah. Doesn't know what's going on, but it's like, oh yeah, cool. So he's gonna Venerable Eldritch Smite.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a total of 7 magical slashing.
Okay.
And 17 force damage.
Very good. All right.
And then he will be knocked prone.
The giant.
Yes.
Oh! All right, he goes down as Thranduin's slice goes in, and the ghostly wolves crawl over him, gnashing and biting and tearing. He goes down. One of the giants stepping forward from his formation to skewer him with one of their sharpened logs, and then you see one other giant from above on this drop a rock on him and.
So is it dead?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Dang it.
There's always more. There's plenty more.
Well, I knocked him prone. I'd have advantage on the next attack.
Okay.
So then I'll just move to the next one, I guess.
Okay.
Then my second attack. 17 to hit.
That hits.
A whopping 7 damage.
Have I crit on a 19 yet?
I don't know.
Not yet.
And what is the are they all like pretty densely packed in?
Yeah, they're forced to be by
Yeah,
the
okay.
defenses.
Right. Disengage is an action or a bonus? It's an action, right?
I think it's an action unless you're a
Yeah,
specific type of
unless you're a
rogue.
Unless rogue. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't disengage and dash.
It's okay. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I just want to like get through to the shaman.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll take some doing.
Yeah.
That'll
So
take some doing.
that's it for me.
Okay. Okay. Otto or D, you guys doing anything?
I was going to, while I'm still waiting on the supplies, I was gonna. How many of the razor leaf seeds did Dinky eat?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say you have like 10 left.
Okay, that's what I had here. I had 12.
12. Okay, you have 12 left.
All right.
Was that before or after he was munching on them?
That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. Let me roll. Okay, you got 4 left.
I have 4 left.
You got 4 left.
All right, so I have 4. So I'm gonna take 2 of those. I'm gonna call up to Tara and see if she can grow these real quick. If she's not,
Oh my goodness. You madman!
like,
You absolute lunatic!
near the entrance. Like, I'm gonna drop one on each side of the door.
So there's 4 doors.
Well, I mean, the one that we're funneling people towards.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, there are 3 doors that are being attacked. It's the eastern, the northern, and the southern openings.
Yeah, but like when I was saying, like trying to funnel them as much as possible. I understand there's gonna be some breakaway there, but I want them kind of like, you know, in Age of Ultron when they bring down the barrier to bring everybody forward.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm trying to get
That's
at.
brilliant. I'm taking a picture of the dragon leaf tree and I'm posting it in the Discord. Hey, we have a Discord. You should go check out the things. There's a Terraform group. Picture taken. There's a Terraform channel. Thank you, Yame. And I use that during our sessions to send pictures and communicate with you guys and hang out with y'all. So head on over to that real quick, and we'll have ourselves a merry old time. So Tara,
Yes.
do your thing.
I will run down to where Otto needs me, and then I will cast at 3rd level plant growth, which not only makes those grow, but also oh, it disappeared. I don't like when it does that. But also it makes it 100-foot radius of that area.
Okay.
It makes a ton of them grow, but I can select specific areas.
Okay.
In that 100-foot radius for plants to not grow. So whatever way we're trying to funnel them, I will leave that clear, and I'll make it difficult terrain on the sides.
Okay, so you've essentially blocked off 2 accesses to the dome and just left the one because because of the trenches and the rough terrain and the dragon leaf trees growing on the northern and southern sides. That just leaves the eastern entrance. So that's freaking brilliant. The tree forms, and the first tree, if you remember from literally last season's 3rd episode, the tree turns towards Otto and goes, "Hello."
How's it going?
"It goes well. It is nice to be able to have sentience again. That forest fire burned me to a crisp."
Well, I'm glad that we were able to get you back up and running. That being said, you mind doing us a favor?
Maybe. What have we here?
You know, because we gave you sentience again?
Maybe. And you see the tree kind of swaying back and forth. Are they desecrating Harmony's antlers?
Absolutely.
And you see the twisting of branches. If it weren't for Terra, this wouldn't be possible. Otto and Terra, Otto having it, Terra growing it. You see this swath of dragon leaf blades go hurling across.
Oh no.
And these dragon leaf blades, let me tell
They
you,
do so much damage.
So much damage.
that is 10d8 slashing damage. So we'll get to that.
Per leaf.
So that's gonna
Per
be fun.
leaf.
Just yeah,
I could
just
totally. I don't know how quickly they regain those, but I could totally stay there and just keep plant growth on this tree and letting it regrow.
interesting. Oh, got you. All right, so that's
It is.
so you're gonna start doing
springtime.
laps.
Have more.
Just the suicide sprints they made you do in basketball. You run over and you boop a dude, and you run over to the other tree and you boop a dude.
Just doing suicide runs?
Basically.
Yeah.
I think they had to change the name of those, which, whatever.
Yeah,
That's
I
understandable,
get
I
it.
guess.
I
Anyway,
think they're calling wind sprints now. Right?
wind sprints.
Oh,
I think so.
She doing wind sprints. All right.
Elegant with my.
Okay, so you're
little
doing
deer
that.
legs.
Otto gets Otto and Terra get the second tree up, and
Those wind sprints you received.
and you hear the continued conversation of words from the dragon leaf tree at the same time because it's one hive mind. The giants that were guarding that area kind of back up in wonder and in fear, and they all kind of are able to actually, because of this, they're able to obviously they can't all just chill by that one last entrance. Instead, they're able to start marching out a bit and start harrying the people back across the trenches. And this begins with Thranduin and Crichton kind of in the front of it, just slaying through people. The giants, because of that. So in response, before I get to the response, Brady, is there anything you want to be doing at this moment? What's up?
Yes, I wanted to cast Speak with Plants
Okay.
and try and talk to a tree that seems like it has deep roots.
Okay.
And try and ask if the tree can either communicate with the other trees or figure out where someone might be hiding that is controlling the giants.
So you contact a tree out in the tree line, and you hear, and everything kind of the combat and everything kind of dims a bit as you focus in on this tree. My people, my fellow trees, are being laid out. If you will help me not be laid out by your black powder and metal balls, the cannon fire, I will assist you.
I promise I will do whatever I can, and that's what we want to stop. We want to stop you guys from getting hurt. We're trying to protect the nature as much as possible.
I will help. And I'll get to that in a second. He begins groaning and twisting and cracking and communicating with other trees to the best of his ability with his deep roots. Fizbin, anything?
Just lightning.
Chucking lightning. Yeah, just
Trying to hit those shamans, man.
all right, make another attack, or I make another saving throw, sorry, from the same shaman who's rolling at disadvantage. So he just gets double taps. Roll your damage.
Shaman's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, he's like, ah! He finally comes out of shock.
Son of a.
30 damage.
Okay. Yep, he's dead. You watch him just. But the giants hold in their attack. They don't waver magically from their controlled minds. But a lot of the natives do. They look around in fear and kind of back up, and then you hear this high-pitched scream, and the mutant natives come hurling out of the thrush. They've been held back in reserve, and now it's just all of them gnashing, their skins overstretched, the spikes in the various parts of their chest and their back and their neck and their eyes. They have these almost railroad spike-esque just flattened bits and pointed ends coming out of the back of their skulls, screeching on all fours, coming running out, trying to jump over the trenches. Thranduin and Crichton are beset from the side as multiple of these things come crawling out of the nearest trench and start attacking from the side. And on your long held in your kind of land bridge that you're on, the party is the army is held. They're not able to continue attacking further, and you're dealing with that on the side. One specifically clambers out and tries to take a swing at Crichton and misses. Another one leaps out and tries to latch onto Thranduin and fails. You're slicing, you're stabbing, you look and you just kind of do like a back step, and he kind of flings past into the adjacent trench, and your assault forward is briefly held. Otto, a powder monkey comes up to you. One of the gunners goes, "Cannons are ready, sir."
Gonna look at, so these guys are coming down the middle, or they're coming from the sides?
They're coming down the middle. So the way the trenches work is that there's one opening on each trench, but they're staggered. So they have to go into one area and then go all the way across and then down another area and all the way across. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, a little bit. All right, so guess we'll take it like, I don't want to shoot it as close to these guys. I want to try to spread them out as much as possible, closer to the back to give kind of a break between them so that they're not all coming all at once, so we have more waves than we do just a constant stream.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're doing that, like, I'm gonna tell the cannons to aim like slightly into the middle of the group, or of the group of these mutants that are coming towards us.
Mm-hmm.
That way, just can kind of give like that like dotted gap.
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of spread that out a bit. You kind of see they all take aim. Brady, are you telling Otto about the tree that doesn't want to get laid out?
Yes.
Okay. And the powder monkeys make effort to not include a specific tree. They don't really understand why, but they're not about to question it. One of the few healers on this in the army. They're not about to be like,
"Don't touch this tree."
Yeah.
Leave my tree friend alone.
Hail hydrate.
And hydrate.
Slaughter in combat. With the detonation of the cannons again, the the mutants falter. Go ahead, Tara. You got a face that says you want to say something.
Yeah, with that break of the mutants away from our group, I'm gonna look at Otto and I'm gonna be like, do you want me to wall of thorns now? Because this is a good place to wall of thorns.
Yeah, if you want to spring your trap, now's a good time.
Yeah. Go
All
for
right.
it.
I'm gonna use my staff for the first time. And I'm gonna expend 6 slots of it. Cast, yeah. 6 charges to cast a wall of thorns. So what that does is it is 60 feet long, 10 feet high, and 5 feet thick. Everybody, when the wall appears, each creature within its area, so I'm doing it right on the line of where that broke up, so I'm hitting the mutant ones.
Nice.
Has to make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, they take 7d8 piercing damage. And then a creature can move through the wall, albeit slowly and painfully. For every 1 foot the creature moves through the wall, it must spend 4 feet of movement. And for the first time a creature enters the wall on its turn or ends its turn there, the creature must make a dexterity throw or take another 7d8 of slashing damage. On failed saves on both of those, it's half damage. Or on success saves.
Okay. So mutants begin just dying on this thing. They begin just bodying up, and eventually some of them begin breaking through, and they're all ripped to ribbons, and just coming on because they're not able to not. And it's a horrifying moment as these creatures that probably would break and run are just being forced to rip themselves through this wall and continue the fight. Thranduin, you have the advantage. Your party begins being able to push all the way up to the end, and you make it to the edge of the trenches, and you're at the perimeter. Okay.
Where's the thorn wall exactly? Is it behind or
Tara?
in front of the trenches?
Where's the thorn wall?
When with the cannon shots fired to make that break from wherever they were coming from, that's where I set it to separate you guys from the infested ones.
So there's a great wall before you, not at the edge, but they're having to like go all way around and come at you from the sides. And so with the giants kind of coming up and grabbing a perimeter, and various members of the Vanguard of the hunt kind of sticking it through the wall and making sure the natives who get through the wall aren't able to do it, you find yourself with some breathing room. You're in the middle of this kind of beachhead with Crichton, who's just covered in gore and just wide-eyed. His pupils are real small, looking around, surrounded by ghostly bears.
And asking me for fire for some reason.
The mutants were afraid of fire last time we fought them.
Those were the gnolls. Those were the
Light it up.
gnolls. Those are the mutated gnolls. These are humans. But I like where your head's at.
Things with stuff inside of them. That's what he saw.
The logical conclusion, I have no fire.
That new staff smell, Tempest. All right.
Surprisingly, warlocks don't get fireball.
All right, Otto,
Magic
spring your
Man.
trap.
Spring my trap.
Yes, you have a whole idea with the Drogar's dungeon.
Oh yeah, so we have has the blue chips come in?
So at this time, someone, a small child of the E1T, kind of scrambles over, looks around, sees the horns of Otto, and kind of comes over and starts shaking you. And you're like, ah! And you're like, and he starts yelling at you in Snake, and you don't know what he's saying. But he looks like he has come from the volcano, and you kind of gather that, and you can tell him where you want the charge planted.
Oh no, so here's what I want. Like, so I'm gonna follow him back down and go towards the blue chips.
Okay, Brady, are you going with him?
Was I near him?
You're in the dome with him. Tara is also up there doing shenanigans.
I have to concentrate for 10 minutes now, so.
Sure.
Okay.
I can go.
So you two make your way down there. A few members of the Vanguard stay with you, and you're met. Bristle is down there giving orders, And he looks over at Otto and Brittany and goes, "Alright, what is the move? What do we do?"
All right, here we go. And I'm gonna open up the rune dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Dump as much of that blue chip down there as you can.
Right. And they start just doing so. They start just,
And I want this like
and it's
you know
and it's
up,
it's like a dragon's horde's worth of explosive
Gotcha.
blue metal.
up to the point where it's like it's hitting the brim of the rune dungeon, where it won't once tip to a vertical. It still will stay in due to the gravity within there.
Okay.
But
Yep.
it
Yep.
won't
Yep.
like pour out.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So doing that, and I'm gonna as soon as that's happening, I'm gonna.
Just realized what it is he's trying to do.
This is gonna be disgusting.
And so I'm gonna pull up all the runes again. I'm gonna head back up there.
Okay.
Up there, is there anywhere on the like battlefield level that's directed towards the funnel that or actually can I just talk to one of the giants to bring the big slab
Yeah.
that we use
Yeah.
up with us?
One of
So I'm
the
gonna have him-
Can
Skiop
you?
comes over.
Okay. Ski up, coming over with the engraved slab. And I'm going to bring him right to that funnel area where everything, you know, is directed right into the focal point of all of these creatures coming.
Okay.
I'm going to put all the runes back up so that it opens up the thing. And I'm just going to cast Firebolt, throw it in, and just duck down. And just have this thing go off like a cannon. Straight into the
a
middle
colossal
of the entire...
6 foot radius beam of destruction of just exploding and then continual explosions as the little bits that go out also detonate. Go
I'm hoping that this looks
flying
like the
into
green fire of Game of Thrones as it just like
very similar.
No,
It-
you just Godzilla'd this. Is
Yes,
what you
it's
just
much
did.
more. It's much more Godzilla-y, and
Okay.
Skiop goes flying backwards, and the stone breaks it. But you've already just there is a huge like ravine where the trees were of just this monstrous just gouge in the tree line of just destruction. And you can see people breaking and running. The Yuan-Ti second wave forces themselves upwards, and they surge forward, and Thranduin is able to command them into the tree line, and they are able to win the day. The natives are routed. The giants remaining are slain until are brung low. Eventually, a retreat is sounded, and the party starts getting their breath under them. What was a 3-hour battle was completely flipped on its head, with Thranduin and Crichton at the lead, with the tactical manipulations of the casters, the dragonleaf trees, the concussive rounds. That was amazing. The battle is won. Eventually, Thranduin, the Vanguard brings up this old man, this old native, and he's kind of got this. He's got like one good eye that looks around a lot, and the other eye is golden, but it's like swollen shut, as if it pains him. And he looks completely surprised by the sudden turn of events. He's gone from this is an assured victory and a good haul of giants to I've just been captured by the enemy.
DM, did the tree survive?
The tree
Is my tree okay?
The tree did not survive.
Absolutely. It got Godzilla.
Skiop was like, I don't know, and then just fell over.
I'm
Just a death blast of just destruction. absolute
Where
chaos.
he's just like, oh, what do you?
The tree's like, I think I have some information. Oversaturated bass noise.
Remember that wildfire that one time?
Oh yeah, and the forest is on fire. The forest is on fire, and the party does have to retreat back into the dome. Tara, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Tara and I are just like, oh my god.
I'm just gonna start doing whatever I can
Sure. The
to
storm helps
to
as
put
well.
out the fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Storm Father, make it rain!
Make it rain!
I actually can. So like, you know.
All right, Fizbin makes it rain.
I'm using Wrath because I can use one of my things where I get a 5th level spell back.
Okay.
But I don't know if I ever used my second Wrath of Nature. I'm sure I did. But anyways, I'll get another one back.
Okay.
But I'll soften it where
So-
I'm throwing sand on all of the
Okay.
fire.
So the party, time is it 9:49? The party, oh goodness, sorry. Tara, Fizbin, and Crichton, who is out there just hunting down people who are fleeing and making sure he can get him some more shamans. They're out in the forest, bringing the forest fire down. Otto, Thranduin, and Brady are back in the dome.
I've collected up what I can with the runes, right?
Yeah, that's broken.
The runes are broken.
The runes are broken. The dungeon, Drogar's dungeon, is no more.
Fair enough. I
Although
just
it
wanted to
exists
see-
somewhere, it's just not this particular portal no longer functions. It was blown asunder. You do have one of the stones intact. Keep that in the pocket for later.
Little,
I could
little
think of-
undead guy
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
finally
that's
gonna
why.
get
Yeah,
some
That's
rest.
why I wanted to open it back up.
Scabby,
and be like,
he'll be
good.
fine. He'll just be lonely.
I just find it funny to think of him being like, hello, and all these chips just getting
Yeah.
thrown in. And
What
he's
are we
like,
doing? What's going
What you
on?
guys,
What do I do?
what you guys doing? Oh, is this treasure? Boom!
Just
Yeah.
asunder. Maybe that will finally kill him. Maybe that'll do him in.
No.
No,
Pretty
no,
sure
no,
it
no.
destroyed the entire
He just-
dungeon.
The same thing as always. He's just back, but he's like, oh, finally peace and quiet.
Yeah. He's
He's not
like,
coming in here anymore.
yeah.
Fizbin's got his decanter of endless water and he's using it like a fire hose. Just constantly, hail hydrate, geyser, hail hydrate, geyser.
Brittany's
Have
hanging
you
He's a
around.
sprinkler.
All right.
Brittany's doing the healer thing and like going around and like, checking on
Okay.
everyone.
So, while you're doing that, something happens. Thranduin, you see it first. You've been sitting there chewing on the name, chewing on Bristle. You've heard the name Bristle before, and you're kind of thinking about it, and you're kind of chewing on it, and,
And then it
you
clicks.
happen to look over and catch Bristle giving a head nod, and multiple E1T who are around Brady pull knives.
Oh.
And just as you go to say something, you feel a tugging sensation. And hang on. Yes, you feel a tugging sensation, and you look down, and your arm is a stump. Someone stepped up right as you did it and brought an axe down on your arm, and it just it severed the arm off. And that's where we're gonna pick up next episode.
Wait, which arm?
The one with the tattoo.
Ah! Damn it.
Now we're gonna be able to call him Stumpy Thran.